So I put down a deposit on the Sea Ray. Delivery in spring.
And I finally booked the Caribbean cruise. 10 days, all inclusive. You should see the suite.
That's wonderful, both of you. Makes a father proud.
Jen, you really need to treat yourself. You are always so careful with money.
Yeah, loosen up. It's not like you can't afford it. You never spend on anything fun.
Jennifer sat at her usual spot, fork resting on her plate, expression unreadable. The family's laughter felt like a door closing. She reached into her pocket and unlocked her phone. The screen glowed with a single organized screenshot, a spreadsheet, names, dates, amounts, and a small word next to each entry, loan. She turned the phone around. The table went silent, but to understand how $41,300 and 6 years of silence ended at this Thanksgiving table, we have to go back to the beginning, 6 years earlier. Jennifer Reeves was 36, single, and the only one in the family with a stable savings account.
Jen, it's Dad. The roof is leaking, and the insurance won't cover it. I hate to ask, but could you spot us $3,000?
$3,000 for the roof?
Just to get through the month. I'll pay you back as soon as things settle.
He sounded desperate. She'd never heard him like this.
Jennifer opened Venmo, selected her father's name, and sent the money. In the note field, she typed, "Loan for roof." The confirmation appeared on her screen. $3,000 to Mark Reeves, time-stamped and saved.
I should write this down, just in case.
She checked her savings balance. It was smaller now, but she told herself it was temporary. Family helped family. She didn't know then that it was the first of 43 separate transfers, each with the same quiet note, loan. 3 weeks later, Brandon's name flashed on her office phone.
Jen, my truck is dead. Transmission blew. I need $1,200 to fix it, or I can't work. You are the only one I can ask.
He'd always been there for her as a kid. She told herself this was a one-time thing.
She sent the $1,200. The Venmo note read, "Loan for car repair." 2 months later, at home, Sarah called with a new business idea.
Jen, I found the perfect storefront. A boutique, high-end consignment. I need $2,000 for the lease. You'll make your money back, I swear.
She wanted to believe her sister. She sent the money, note, loan for boutique startup.
She began a private notebook. On the first page, she wrote, date, name, amount, note. Each entry was a record of trust. The pages filled quickly. $1,200 for Brandon, $2,000 for Sarah. Every entry was a promise she believed. Within 2 years, the notebook showed $15,300 in loans. 6 loans, no repayments. No one mentioned them again. The next weekend, at a family lunch, Jennifer decided to bring up what no one else would.
I've been looking at my finances. Over the past 2 years, I've lent out $15,300. I need to talk about repayment.
Sweetheart, we're family. Keeping a tally like that, it's not what family does.
So, who do you like for the playoffs? I think the Chiefs have a shot.
Brandon coughed into his napkin. Sarah's eyes flicked to Jennifer, then away. Neither said a word.
That's it. They're just going to pretend I didn't say anything.
After the plates were cleared, Linda pulled Jennifer aside in the kitchen.
Honey, constantly talking about money makes you seem petty. It's beneath you.
That night, Jennifer opened a new spreadsheet and typed in every transaction, complete with dates and promises. She added a column simply labeled follow-up. It would remain empty for years. 3 years later, the spreadsheet showed $35,000. Medical bills, dental work, rent every month, another request. Then came her annual bonus. $5,000. The most she'd ever received.
She could finally take a vacation, but her car's transmission was slipping.
The mechanic quoted her $4,700. The bonus disappeared before it touched her savings. She opened the spreadsheet that night. $35,000 stared back, each entry a broken promise.
What am I doing to myself? This is never going to stop.
She had no one to blame. She'd said yes every single time, and they'd trained her to be quiet. The weight of $35,000 pressed against her chest, and the follow-up column remained blank. Her savings account, once a safety net, now barely covered 3 months of expenses. She closed the laptop and sat in the dark. Somewhere in the silence, something inside her began to crack. A few weeks later, at her parents' backyard barbecue, the family gathered around the picnic table. Brandon and Sarah had had a few beers. Their voices carried over the music.
I told Jenny my truck broke down and she sent $1,500 in 20 minutes. She's so easy.
It's not like she has anything else to spend it on. She's alone in that apartment. Might as well be our bank.
Jennifer was carrying a tray of drinks out the screen door. She froze, hidden behind the mesh.
They think I am a joke, a walking ATM with no life.
She set the tray down silently on the porch and walked back inside. No one noticed. That night, alone in her apartment, she opened the spreadsheet and added a new column. Last mentioned repayment date. Beside Brandon's name, she typed, "Truck broke down again. 0 interest, Easy Bank." The spreadsheet was no longer just a record. It had become evidence. 2 months later, Linda's name glowed on Jennifer's phone during her lunch break.
Jenny, I hate to ask again, but your father's heart medication isn't covered. We need $2,000 by Friday, or they'll stop treatment.
She remembered the barbecue. The words "our bank" echoed. But guilt was a louder voice. She couldn't let her father die.
She opened Venmo, sent $2,000, and typed, "Loan for Dad's meds." A week later, she scrolled Facebook and froze. Linda Reeves posted, "Well-deserved getaway. Loving the cruise life." Underneath, a photo of her parents on the deck.
The heart medication was a lie. They'd used her to fund a vacation.
She reopened the spreadsheet and added a new line. Mom and Dad cruise 2,000. Supposedly heart meds. The total climbed to $37,000. Her resentment hardened into something cold and quiet. Something that would wait. The Thanksgiving invitation arrived in early November. Jennifer stared at it, then at the open spreadsheet on her laptop.
If I don't say something this year, I never will. They'll just keep taking. I am not asking for all 40,000. I just need them to see it, to acknowledge it.
Her phone buzzed. Sarah's name glowed on the screen.
Hey, Jen, my credit card bill is a little high this month. Could you spot me $1,000? I promise I'll pay you back.
Of course. Just in time for her Caribbean cruise. The nerve. I'll think about it.
She hung up. Then she opened the spreadsheet and exported it as a PDF. She saved it as a single screenshot. The image was clean. Every name, every date, every promise in black and white. She placed the printout in her purse next to her phone. Thanksgiving dinner would be different this year. The driveway was full when Jennifer arrived. She took a breath, felt the folded paper and phone in her purse.
Jenny, you look pale. Are you taking care of yourself? Sit down. I'll get you coffee.
Brandon burst in 20 minutes late, jangling his keys, already talking about the truck.
$40,000 for a Silverado, fully loaded. Thinking I might pull the trigger. You only live once, right?
Sarah tilted her head, and the dining room light glinted off a pair of diamond studs.
I figured I deserve something sparkly. It's been a stressful year. Besides, the cruise is paid for.
Jennifer took her usual seat, hands hidden, heart hammering. The image on her phone pressed against her thigh.
$41,300. They've forgotten. Every last dime.
The family filled their plates, laughter rising. The scene was perfect, untouched. She waited, patient as a bomb. The screenshot was locked and loaded. The table would see it soon enough. The conversation shifted. Brandon, loosened by wine, turned to Jennifer with a grin that never meant anything good.
Come on, Jen, loosen up. You are not taking your savings to the grave. Treat yourself for once.
Remember, when you wouldn't even go to that concert, you said $40 was too much.
She's always been a little stingy. afraid to spend a dime on herself.
It's okay, honey. You can't help it. Some people just don't know how to enjoy life.
Jennifer's knuckles whitened around her fork. She set it down with a soft clink, the sound cutting through the laughter.
They have no idea what I've got on this phone. No idea at all.
She stood, the chair scraping back against the hardwood floor, and pulled out her phone.
Actually, I have something to show you all. Something you should have seen a long time ago.
The table froze. Every smile vanished. Something had shifted in the air. Jennifer unlocked her phone and raised it so everyone could see. The perfectly organized spreadsheet filled the screen. The first entry stood out like an accusation. Brandon Reeves, $12,500. Car repair, rent, boat deposit. Next was her sister's entry. Sarah Reeves, $9,800. Business loan, credit card, Caribbean trip. Linda gasped. Her fingers dug into Mark's sleeve, knuckles white. Then the entry for their parents. Mark and Linda Reeves, $18,000. Roof, medical, cruise, and at the very bottom, bold and underlined, a figure none of them could ignore. Total, $41,300. Brandon's fork clattered against his plate. The noise sliced through the dead silence. Sarah opened her mouth, but no sound came. She pressed her lips together and stared at her lap.
She stood steady, her heart pounding, but her voice unshaken within. For the first time, she wasn't the one begging.
The family sat frozen, eyes darting between the phone and Jennifer. She waited, still as stone.
Are you serious? You've been tracking us like some kind of debt collector. This is insane.
This is so pathetic. Family doesn't do this. We're your siblings, not your customers.
How could you embarrass us like this? On Thanksgiving?
I demand an explanation, young lady. This is not how we raised you.
I am not asking for all of it. I am asking to be acknowledged. I just need you to see what you've done. They're attacking me, but I am done being the one who apologizes for their debts.
She didn't raise her voice. She didn't cry. The calmness disoriented them more than any shout could have. Linda sobbed into her napkin. Mark's face reddened, but his voice stalled in his throat. Brandon shoved his chair back, his knuckles white on the table edge, but he didn't leave. Sarah stared at the screenshot, her eyes tracing the damning totals over and over.
I've never charged interest. I've never set a deadline. But I will not be the family joke anymore.
Mark's fury dissolved into something heavier, a slow gut punch dawning.
Jen, I didn't realize it was that much. I never added it up.
We were going to pay you back eventually. We just needed time.
When? Mom. I've been waiting 6 years. You took a cruise instead of telling me the truth.
Linda's mouth clamped shut. The table was a cage of uneaten food and broken trust.
How much do you need right now to start?
A crack. The first real word of responsibility she'd heard in years.
Brandon and Sarah exchanged a look, half contempt, half fear, but said nothing. No one had agreed. No one had apologized. But the silence had changed. Now, it was a silence that asked a question.
I never said it was a loan. That was a gift. You offered to help. You can't change the story now.
You wrote it yourself, Brandon. Loan for car repair. THX, the 15th of January, 6 years ago. I have the screenshot.
Brandon's mouth opened, but no argument came. He stared at the glowing words like they were written in fire.
You are twisting things. That's not how I meant it. You are trying to make us look like criminals.
Loan for boutique startup, Sarah. Your words. I'm not twisting anything. I am reading exactly what you sent.
Sarah's face crumpled. Her carefully held composure cracked, and she looked away, biting her lip. Brandon shoved back from the table so hard his chair tipped over and crashed to the floor.
We're done here. Enjoy your little spreadsheet, Jen.
He stormed out, the front door slamming behind him. Sarah buried her face in her hands, shoulders shaking. The room felt colder, the turkey untouched. The the smell of sage and tension mingling in the air. No one spoke. Mark ran a hand over his face, the anger replaced by exhaustion. His voice came out rough.
I'll pay you $500 a month, starting next week. That's the best I can do right now.
That's a beginning, but I need you to talk to Brandon and Sarah. They owe me too.
You've ruined Thanksgiving. Was this really necessary?
No, Mom. The loans ruined it. I just showed the receipt.
Linda's lips pressed into a thin line. She looked away, the fight draining from her shoulders.
Can you email me that spreadsheet? I need to see everything for myself.
Jennifer opened her email, typed her father's address, and attached the file. The screen flashed, sent, across the table. Sarah's muffled sobs were the only sound. The turkey sat forgotten, cold and untouched.
Until there's a real plan. One that includes all of you. The bank is closed.
The weeks blurred. Jennifer opened her bank app and saw 2 new transactions, each labeled Mark Reeves, payment. The first was $500, the second $500 more. His effort was real, but it felt like drops in a $40,000 ocean. She dialed Brandon. It rang 4 times before flipping to voicemail. His outgoing message hadn't changed. She hung up. She tried Sarah next. The call went straight to voicemail, no ring. She'd been blocked. She opened Instagram and searched for Sarah's profile. The message read, "This account is private." Jennifer couldn't see the photos anymore.
They really think I am the villain. For asking for my own money back.
Linda's calls were short and cold, asking if she'd thought about what she'd done. Jennifer answered, but the conversations were hollow. She set her phone aside and opened a small journal. The pen hovered. Then she wrote,
I knew this would cost me something. I didn't know it would be silence.
She closed the book and looked at the spreadsheet on her laptop. Mark's row had 2 small green entries. Brandon and Sarah's rows remained blank 3 months after the blocked calls. Jennifer's phone buzzed during her lunch break. A text from Sarah, the first since Thanksgiving. I'll send you $100 a month as charity, since you clearly can't manage your own money. Sarah.
Charity. After $9,800, charity.
She stared at the words, thumbs hovering over the keyboard. Then she typed.
Charity implies you don't owe me. I'll accept the $100 as partial payment when you confirm the total owed.
She sent it and waited. The read receipt appeared immediately. No reply followed. Jennifer took a screenshot of the whole thread and saved it to a folder labeled Evidence.
Even now, you can't just say what it is. A loan you promised to repay.
She opened the spreadsheet and added a note beside Sarah's name, 100. Mo charity offer. Total unacknowledged. The folder grew thicker. Brandon's row stayed empty. The bank remained closed. 6 months after the blocked calls, Mark's name lit up Jennifer's phone. She answered, bracing for bad news.
Jen, I just sent another $500. That makes $3,000 total. I am sorry it took me this long to see what we were doing to you.
Thank you, Dad. It means more than you know.
A week later, Linda invited her to lunch. The conversation was polite, but laced with passive barbs.
Your father is eating ramen to save money, but I suppose that's what you wanted.
This is how she loves. Through guilt. But I won't absorb it anymore.
That evening, alone at her laptop, Jennifer pulled up a blank document. She typed loan agreement at the top. She filled in the blanks. Lender, borrower, amount, repayment terms. No handshakes, no family excuses. She printed 2 copies and placed them in a drawer. Empty. Waiting. A boundary drawn in ink. She would never lend without a written agreement again. Not to family. Not to family. Not to anyone. 1 year after the Thanksgiving she'd never forget. Jennifer sat in her quiet apartment. The spreadsheet glowed on her laptop screen. Mark's payments had totaled $5,000. Sarah's account showed $1,100, still labeled charity in her notes. Brandon's row was still frozen red. $12,500. Zero payments. No calls, no texts, no sign of change.
I may never see that money. And I may never see him again.
She would never forget, but she would no longer let it consume her. The debt was a number. Her peace was not. She powered off the laptop. The screen went dark, and the room fell quiet. She stood and walked to the kitchen, the floorboards creaking under her steady steps. She filled the coffee maker, the familiar gurgle breaking the silence. It was a small ritual of normalcy. She looked out the window. The world outside was still moving, indifferent, alive. A faint, tired smile touched her lips. The bank was closed, but her life was finally her own. Months later, a coworker leaned over her cubicle, voice lowered. "You are so good with money, Jen. Any chance you could spot me 1,000? I am drowning in credit card debt."
I am sorry, but I don't lend money anymore. Not without a signed agreement.
The colleague blinked, then laughed nervously. "You are serious?"
A year ago, that question would have twisted my stomach. Now it just felt like a closed door.
She smiled and offered to send them a budgeting template instead. The conversation ended without guilt. That evening, she opened the drawer in her hallway and looked at the blank loan agreements. They were still waiting, untouched.
Some people never change, but I did.
She closed the drawer and poured herself a glass of wine. The silence in her apartment was no longer lonely. It was peaceful. The spreadsheet was archived in a folder called Closed Accounts. She rarely opened it anymore. Jennifer Reeves had learned the hardest lesson. Love can survive a closed checkbook, and so could she. It was another Thanksgiving, and this time Jennifer spent it alone, deliberately. In the small piece of her apartment, her phone buzzed with a Venmo notification. Mark Reeves sent $500. Payment. She opened the spreadsheet, added the line, and closed it without lingering.
The same empty chairs would be around that table tonight. But I am not empty anymore.
The silence between her and her siblings was still a heavy rope, frayed but unbroken, stretching across months of unspoken words. She poured a second cup of tea and sat by the window, watching the neighborhood darken into early winter. She had lost a brother and a sister, but she had gained something unshakable. The knowledge that she could survive being hated by the people she loved. She picked up a book and settled into the couch, the lamp casting a soft circle of light around her. In the hallway drawer, the blank loan agreement sat untouched, a silent testament to promises she would no longer make without consequence. One day, perhaps, Brandon would call, but she wouldn't wait by the phone. Her life was already full. She turned the page and let the quiet settle around her like a well-earned coat. The night deepened. Jennifer closed her book and sat in the stillness that was no longer heavy. In the hallway, the drawer with the blank agreements remained shut, a quiet promise to herself. She thought of her father's payments and her sister's bitter charity and let the weight of it all rest.
I forgave enough to move forward, but not enough to forget. That's the balance I needed.
The money would never fully return. Neither would the old version of her family, but she had built a new version of herself, and that version didn't owe anyone an explanation. She turned off the lamp, and the apartment folded into darkness. Outside, the streetlights flickered on. Somewhere across town, a table sat with empty chairs. She didn't need to fill them anymore. She walked to her bedroom, leaving the quiet to keep watch. The silence wasn't a punishment. It was proof that she had always been the one who kept score. And finally, the score had been settled, if only with herself.